Hi class, I just thought I would check in and create a video just so you know exactly what the assignment is all about, just because we had to rush it at the end and I don't want you feeling like you're going into this blind. Um, so what we're going to talk about is, first off, that we're going to do a simulation. So it's the Paris Peace Conference that happens after the war. And so you will be assigned a country, and that will happen just after this video. And it will either be France, Great Britain, Italy, United States of America, or Germany. And so you're going to participate in this conference from that country's perspective. So everything that you answer will have to sort of gear towards the goals of that country at that time. So the following issues we'll be debating at the conference are the division of European and non-European territories, so those within Europe, but also colonies all over the world, most likely the ones that will be taken away from the countries that lost the war. Reparations, so any compensation payable by defeated countries to the victors. Assignment of guilt for the war, so we're going to look at who's actually responsible for the war and what your country thought. Should there be an international organization established? And one last one was the new terms and regulations for nations' military. So this is essentially looking at the idea of whether countries like Germany should have new military policies, so decreasing their army size, how many ships they can have, that sort of thing. For the assignment, you're going to have to find at least 5 sources. They can be all online sources, but they're going to be valid ones, and that's what you're going to go over in the library period with Mr. Ames. And then, so there'll be also a written speech that will be made collaboratively, but that will be after you take your notes. And I'll go over the written speech a bit more in depth on Monday, just so I don't confuse you too much. So I went ahead and made some note organizers for you, and this is just going to help you sort of keep track of what you need to take notes on. And so you're going to answer a few questions, and so you're going to include the source on this side of the page and then any notes. And if you need more paper or more space, you can always use other paper, but this is just sort of to guide you in researching the right topics. So this one, the first one, you'll look at how was your country involved in the Great War. The next section, what did your country or people suffer due to the Great War? So how are you affected? What are your objectives regarding territory? Your objectives regarding reparations. So who's to pay what to who? And international organizations. So things you might kind of consider is who can join, what issues will it oversee, and what will the powers of the organization be to enforce these new regulations and rules. Next one, you're going to look at who's actually responsible for the war, so the war guilt. Does your country think that it was all Germany's fault, or whose fault do they think it is? And then the final one that you'll be taking notes on is military terms. So looking at whether you think there should be new military terms imposed on a specific country or all countries in general. After you sort of take the notes, I think you'll be able to understand, get a good idea of non-negotiable goals that your country wants to achieve and will not compromise on. So these are goals that you're going into the conference saying, I will not sign this treaty unless this happens. And then there's also going to be some negotiable terms that you're willing to sort of give up in place of your non-negotiable terms. But those kind of things you're probably not going to include in your speech, the non-negotiable ones, because you kind of want to keep that as an element of surprise for them. So you can debate back and forth. Once your notes are done, each person is going to do individual notes. Then you will get together with your country groups and you will share your notes and then create a written speech. The written speech will only have to be spoken by one person, or you could decide maybe two people if you can't, if there's more than one person that wants to do it. And so that one person will actually read out the speech that you created collaboratively with all of your notes. And then they'll sort of be representing you, but anyone else that is not speaking can be a part of the group when you discuss whether to vote yes or no on certain topics, and you'll get time to debate when we're in the actual simulation. So I hope this clarifies things. If you have any questions over the weekend, feel free to email me, and I hope you have fun with this. And have a good weekend.